Well, thank you, Donna. The next area that we want to get into is the bullet point 3, where we're taking a look at the output features that we need to be aware of when we're working with our students. When we're talking about audio output features here, we're looking at the ability to be able to adjust that rate of speech. So again, based upon whether or not it's pleasure reading, whether or not it's taking in information for content, it's new material, can you slow it down, can you speed it up, so that you're able to adjust that reading pace. Or even the pausing in between reading units, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. When we're also talking about audio output, we also want to think about, does an individual need to have the audio output of the menus so that they can navigate around their device itself that they're utilizing? Can they leave audio notes? So again, if I'm listening to information and I have a thought and I want to interact with that information, can I leave an audio note so that I can come back and review it later? And we go back again to whether or not there's a visual display of the text, or is it just auditory only? Some individuals who take in information auditorily also need to have the visual representation of the text in order to stay engaged in that text. And then whether or not there's going to be auditory cues that are available for them. In the area of the digital output, you're going to see some similarities in this area as far as being able to adjust the reading speed, the pace, the pausing, if an individual needs to be able to have access to that. But we also might to take a look at different ways that they may be interacting with it. Since it's in a digital format, they might be able to leave text notes instead of just leaving audio notes. They might be able to take a look at the capability in that digital format to be able to utilize it for outlining, listing of information. When it comes to writing, can they have the capability that if they struggle that there might be some word prediction support that's there? And then also the use of spell checkers and homonym checkers that are going to be able to assist them.
So there are some output features in terms of large print that are important to think about. So there are aspects of how the text is on the paper, and whether the text is displayed on computers and other electronic tools and devices, because that affects your flexibility and variability that you can use in terms of presenting the print. And then there's the aspect of using magnification devices and tools to access print in a large print format. And so there are prescription devices that are prescribed by typically low vision specialists that are available to students. And then there are non-prescription methods to increase a student's ability to access print, such as additional lighting. Then there's software and hardware tools that enable a student to access print with flexibility and variability and in multiple settings, such as a video magnifier that allows a student to increase and view print size with an electronic tool. And then the built-in accessibility features that are common now in computers allow students to have user control over print presentation features such as print size and other aspects of print presentations. And then the BRAILLE output features that are important to think about are whether BRAILLE is embossed or hard copy BRAILLE, which we think about as paper BRAILLE. So refreshable BRAILLE is electronic output that represents what is visually displayed on a computer screen. So refreshable BRAILLE is created with small plastic pins in the shape of a typical BRAILLE cell that move up and down in a flat surface. So those are the two ways that BRAILLE is presented in text.
Well, thank you, Donna.